Hey everybody, what's going on? And today we're playing Prêt-À-Porter from Prêt-À-Porter from Portal Games. So how's it going, Sarah?
Hey.
Excited?
Yeah, I am. We kickstarted this game last year, and we've played one time, and we really enjoyed it, but we were playing in a cafe back when we were allowed to go to cafes, and it was coming up on closing, and we were getting near the end of the game, but it was our first game. It was a learning game, and we just kind of had to like scoop everything into the box and like leave because the cafe was closing. So as soon as we were done, we couldn't do like really like a post-mortem or anything like that. We were just like scooping the box, so we gotta go. And we have not played since, so this is only going to be our second game ever. And it's supposed to be this big meaty game, and it is for sure, but it's also essentially just sort of a worker placement and resource management game. And I remember being kind of intimidated by it at first. The rulebook is really big, and there's a lot of like, you have to do it exactly like this or you're going to mess things up. And I was kind of intimidated by it the first time we played, and I'm a little tiny bit intimidated by it now too, just because it is kind of a big, meaty game. But I also remember from our first playthrough that it is once you start, it's like, oh, okay, this isn't so bad. So I'm looking forward to that point in the game where I'm like, okay, I know what we're kind of doing, and it's not so bad. That being said, it's also a very, very tight game. If you make like a single mistake, you will pay for it.
Or if you don't pay for all your things, then all of a sudden you get, here's a credit that you have to pay back. And
yeah, so it's pretty demanding, pretty difficult game. So I'm looking forward to the challenge, and yeah, so it should be fun.
Awesome. Well, let's get into it and check out what Prêt-À-Porter has to offer. And yeah, so we'll come back. There's about 12 rounds.
There are 12 rounds. It's one round for every month of the year. And most of those rounds are like rounds where we're preparing for fashion shows. The entire game is about being in the fashion industry and collecting resources to produce collections that we show off at seasonal shows. So we have a lot of rounds where we get to just prepare for the upcoming show, but we do have 4 exhibition rounds where we actually have a fashion show or fashion shows that we're attempting to show off our collections and our designs at, and hopefully win prestige, which are points, and then be able to sell our collections and get money so that we can continue to produce collections and that kind of thing. So there are 12 rounds in the game. Like I said, most of them are sort of rounds where you are preparing for the shows, but 4 of them are exhibition rounds. And so those are placed like sporadically through the rounds. Like I said, it's supposed to signify a year. So we have like the spring show, the summer show, the fall show, the winter show kind of thing. And yeah, so 12 rounds, each one is a month, and then at the end of each like season we have an exhibition round, and that is where like the majority of the points and money and stuff like that are generated. And hopefully we worked hard enough on our collections and presented a collection that was desirable enough to people that we're going to get enough
money,
victory points, and resources. And
our efforts
money.
will not be in vain.
Yeah, otherwise you won't have enough money to produce things for the next season.
Then you'll have to go and get credit, and then you'll have to pay that back with interest and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll come back to at the 6th round and show you, do an update on how we're doing in Prêt-À-Porter.
There you go.
And yeah, well, we'll see you guys in a sec. Bye. Hello, everyone. So we just finished our 6th round of Prêt-À-Porter. And Prêt-À-Porter. I think I finally get it. And it is stressful, but it's fun. It's fun stress. So it's the pros and cons of a big game. But I like it. It's we've been playing a lot of light games lately, and now we just kind of turn up the notch to the heaviness. But once you get the hang of a game, I feel like, you can classify this one as a heavy one, but at the same time, once you get the hang of it, you're moving, and then you realize you've tripped up on something, and then you're like, no.
Yep.
But yeah. So I'm enjoying it. I don't know how Sarah feels about it.
I'm good. I'm a little frustrated with myself because I messed up in the previous round and it cost me some points and money.
Yeah, but you still got 6 more rounds to come back. So yeah, sweet. So yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I have a lot of experienced accountants, so I'm getting a lot of money that way.
I have this experienced credit advisor who, like real life credit advisors, lied to me about how much money I could have without consequences.
I have things to say, but I'm not going to say them. So yeah, it's a beautiful game. There's a lot to take hold of, and a lot to track during the whole game.
Yeah.
But it's a good game. We got this as a Kickstarter. Sarah was looking up a rules question on Board Game Geek, and for some reason on Amazon, this is going for the Kickstarter version, going like $400 some odd.
It's insane.
And that's insane. Like, I hope no one spends that much on just like, there's just no game that is like, if it's its basic version, yeah, it's a Kickstarter, but I mean, that's a lot of money for a Kickstarter, and so, I mean, yeah, that's like, but back to the game, enjoying it, lot to keep track of, but once you keep track of things, it flows. You start learning it, you start where you need your money, where you need to spend, where you can get really close on getting a loan, and get a loan, or like, I was like $1 away from a loan, I was like, ooh. And then like
the loans are very costly.
Yeah, they're costly.
If you take a loan, then you get, like this particular one, you get $20, but you have to pay back $28 when you pay it back. And it doesn't sound like a lot of money, but $8 in this game is
sometimes
a lot of
$8
money.
in this game is like, then all of a sudden, and then if you need like say $21,000 in the game, you have to take $40,000 in loans.
Worth of loans, because you can only take them in denominations of $20,000.
That's
so.
But yeah, so
money and resources are very, very tight in this game.
It's just it's a heavier game. So with a heavier game, you have to pay attention to a lot more things. So yeah, we'll get back to you guys once we finish Prêt-À-Porter from Portal Games. But yeah, we've done this before where we're mid-game and we think somebody's winning, but then all of a sudden it's like...
Well, I'm ahead right now on the score track.
Yeah.
But not by much. And Nikki has way more money going into the third...
Because my girls look fabulous.
Huh.
And my boys got the Justin Bieber look.
I have a collection of female models, and they're modeling different kinds of clothing and different styles and stuff like that. But I really need
I've got like 2 models right now, and I'm like, I gotta pick me up.
I
some
have
more
a
models.
bunch of models, but to be able to actually clothe them, I need more supplies.
Yeah, and it costs.
It does. It costs a lot.
It does cost.
So.
All right. Well, we'll get back to you guys at the end of our game and talk to you more about how we felt, how like the whole experience was. But yeah, so toodles. Hello, Sarah.
Hi.
How are you?
I am the superior fashion designer. However, I have no head for business apparently, and I fell prey to a loan shark who took advantage of my misunderstanding of how money works. Therefore, I smashed face. My model fell totally off the runway, not even like tripped and like landed on the walkway, the catwalk. Not even that. Like, she fell pell-mell off the side of the catwalk, broke her face. It's bad, guys. It's
Jeez.
really bad.
Yikes. Well, yeah.
So Nick actually has a plus 200 there, not a plus 100, but the token doesn't go that high. So not only did he lap me, but yeah. Like I said, my model's bleeding in the hospital. She's considering other career options because this just...
Well, we misunderstood a few things. We misunderstood loans, and there's this card that is called the
Investment house.
Great investment house once you upgrade it, and it's pretty ridiculous on getting victory points. So, I mean...
I think you probably used that, maybe 4 times, right?
Yeah.
And you were able to get like 20 or more points every time, right? So he probably got about 100 points just off of that card.
And so it just seems, and we were...
Even if you wouldn't have had that card, though, you still would have beat me, I think, right?
I don't know.
I think so, because you're at 2-0 something, and I'm only at 1-0 something. Oh, no, actually, I would have beaten you. If you would have come down by 100 points, I would have beaten you, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anywho.
That's not what happened.
Yeah, so there's a few things we had to, figure out. But I did come across a forum about this card because people think they were... Well, I didn't get to read it because we were playing our game, so we were just trying to get the rules, resolved so we can kind of come back to it. But it just seemed a little overpowered. And for those that have played Prêt-À-Porter...
Not a little. A lot
overpowered. A lot. I mean, a lot overpowered. And so when you get this... I mean, there was a few times where I was really close into getting a loan. Because I would have, 1 left to pay for my thing. But I also had, 2 experienced accountants. So I was, 14. So it was the majority of my upkeep.
I'm thinking that I think that the card is probably overpowered. But I don't think it's as overpowered as it seems, because in order to get it to work, you do have to generate quite a bit of cash, which is hard to do in this game. So you have to be doing things in order to get money, and then you have to spend the money to get the points, where other people could spend money to get supplies that they need to make more designs, or they could hire staff, or train their staff, or upgrade their buildings, or that kind of thing. So I think while it does seem really overpowered, and while it might be overpowered, you are using a good chunk of your resources in the game to just generate points. And that's the whole point of the whole game. But that particular card, if you use it to get the points, then you're not using your money to get other stuff, and then you can't turn that stuff into points.
Yeah.
So
you really, in this game, you really have to pay attention to a lot of things. There's a lot of moving pieces within this game, and it's a good game. I like it. We're gonna have to probably play this again because
I'm really annoyed that I misunderstood the credit and the loans, because I was constantly going into debt
to pay for them off.
And then I was taking out more loans to pay off loans I thought were due, and they weren't even due yet. And then I was paying added interest because of that. So what's supposed to happen is that you're only supposed to pay off your loans at the end of each season. So at the end of a season, you have a show, and then
that gets you a bunch of money, and then you can go ahead and
after
pay
your
that
show,
back.
you get to sell all the designs that you showed at the show, and then you have enough money to pay off your loans. But I was repaying my loans almost every round, and so then I was struggling because I wasn't actually making any money, and I was really frustrated because I was like, well, how am I supposed to be able to pay this off? I didn't actually make any income, so I have no money, and I had to take a loan to begin with because I had no money. So now I have to take another loan to pay off this loan. So I really fundamentally misunderstood how that worked, and I think it really created a lot of frustration for me in the game, and I'm not entirely sure how much it actually hampered my score, just because if I wouldn't have constantly been trying to repay my loans or get out of debt or that kind of thing, I might have been able to focus on other things.
It's just, there was a lot going on with this game, and it's a good game. I like it. When it first came out,
I do too. I'm really frustrated right now, but I do like the game.
When I first came to see Prêt-À-Porter coming out for Kickstarter, I did a dice tower with I'm blanking on her name. Mandy. Mandy was doing a showing it off at Dice Tower 2019. Probably because 2020 was obviously canceled, and it was still at the old venue, which for those that know, it was at a Caribbean hotel.
Actually,
in
then
Florida.
It would have been 2018, I think.
2018?
Maybe. I don't know.
It might have been 2018. I know it was when I was with DeVere helping them out, and I don't think you were with me.
I was not. I had to be at a different show,
Yeah.
So I was across the country somewhere at a different show.
We were at cons apart.
We were. It sucked.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're interested in a heavy game that you
that you can just be like constantly frustrated by.
This is your game, and if Ignacia ever watches this, yes,
I really did not enjoy it this time, but it was kind of my own fault because I misunderstood, like I said, that one particular thing, and it really, really made it much, much more frustrating the experience for me. But I know that the next time that I play this, knowing that I will know
break my
how...
face off.
Well, I don't know about that.
Here's a heel in the eye! Oh my gosh!
I don't know about that, but I do know that I will enjoy this a lot more next time because I won't have that frustration, and because I'll just kind of in general know what I'm doing a little bit better the next time around. And I really do like most of the other things about this game. So if I hadn't been completely frustrated by my own trip up there, then I probably wouldn't be quite as upset as I am right now. But yeah, so I do want to try it again. I wish we had time to do it again, like, immediately. Because
I gotta get ready for work, and we want to make fudge.
Yeah, we're gonna make some old-time fudge. So, we're gonna go do that instead of playing Pret all over again right away. But I think you said we're gonna leave it up, right?
Yeah, we're gonna leave it up, and then we're gonna go ahead and
we'll try
it again, and maybe do an update vlog on it after we send this one out. Well,
so annoyed.
Well, with that, we will leave y'all until next time we play a game. So, toodles!